No, I mean, just going to the price thing, because this was a huge deal for us. Like, I think what was hard right when COVID was happening was like, you can't really shoot in person. And again, that's like what I traditionally come from, is like shooting with my camera and doing it in person. And so like where like you could send products to a creator, you could direct them and all this stuff, like that's kind of actually what we were doing for a bit. But what we found was that it took a lot longer, kind of frustrated with like, you kind of only got like what the finished edit was. Like you didn't get a bunch of videos, you didn't get a lot of choice.
Like raw assets.
Yeah, raw assets. But like even when people do give raw assets and you pay an extra fee for that, they tend to be very underwhelming because they're not coming from a shooting background. Like if I shoot something, I'm going to shoot it in 5 different angles, maybe multiple times. So we have like for 30 seconds, we're going to have 20 minutes of footage. Like nobody's doing that, right? So like I just felt like there was a lot there that we needed to shift. And so we really were like, well, we could work with actors and shoot everything. We'll have complete control of all the videos and also complete control of how they said it. Like I'm literally behind the camera saying, say that again, finish that sentence with a note up, right? Like we get super specific that like most people aren't even thinking about these things. And so I think that is like really important to understand, is like we wanted the most control. Now doing this is very hard. Like we are making content on hard mode, and like you got to really commit to it. And sometimes I'm like, geez, like this is hard. I'd rather just be a project manager of some creators sometimes. But what we do is we first do the creative strategy. Now, when people say creative strategy, they say hooks, angles. That's like the tip of the iceberg. Creative strategy is truly understanding who is your customer and why do they buy. Creative strategy did not just get created in the last 2 years. This has been done by some of the greatest people: Claude Hopkins, David Ogilvy, Jared Zaltman, who's like from Harvard Business School, who's written a lot about metaphors and things like this, and who's done a ton of like with like customer research and understanding how that all comes together. So like look back at the advertising giants. They've done a lot of this stuff, right? So we try to take we've created a process where we try to dig deep into some of the data that we have already to come up with what we think would be like a roadmap of, hey, we think these are the avenues that we should try. We're not going to try everything right away, but like we're going to try that. Then from there, we actually build out hooks, angles, and we just go crazy. Like I will sometimes just in a notebook, just start writing down hooks, like get like maybe 30, 100, like just to get like 2 really good hooks. Then from there, we actually write out the script, and then we build out all the visuals. We do this all on Milanote. It's like kind of a storyboard like software, like line by line. This is what we're going to do. We'll have reference videos. We have reference shots. Then we have it all prescribed. We get the actors, we rent the spaces, like an actual home. That home will look what like the ideal customer will look like and live in, and things like that. So it should feel very native. Then we actually go on set. The people are already prepped with the scripts and the visuals. Then we shoot everything. So we tend to shoot with our, high-end, camera to get a lot of the B-roll. And then we will shoot a lot of the, voiceover and like talking to the camera, like on an iPhone, like we have it mic'd up, and we'll just have the person like naturally just like talk to the phone. And then from there, we take all of that footage, and then our editors take it and then edit it all up. And that's how we do it. And that seems like a lot, but we do get it down really quickly because we have a process when we've done it like a lot, but like we also are not waiting on other people. And I think that's the hardest thing, is like when you're working with creators, there's so much variance. You have no idea like what one person is going to do, the next person. And so we really try to keep everything as much in-house to keep it really tight in terms of timeline.